Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our kickoff of the series, Real Love. We want to just talk about what real love means because you know what? Real love means something different to everybody. And I think this series is going to help everybody to understand all of the different ways that people receive love. I thought it would be a great way to kick off this series with our wonderful, loving Kizzy Doll. How are you this evening, my love?
Hey, LizzyDoll, I'm doing fabulous. How are you feeling?
I am feeling fabulous, but you're looking radiant and just as beautiful. So thank you
Oh,
for bringing
thank you.
that
And you look beautiful,
gorgeousness to the recording tonight. Thank you.
girl. What they say, you wear love well. Love is all in my face, just like love is all in your face. What you say now? You better watch out.
Uh, you know what? I'm gonna leave that right there on that table.
It's all good. It's all good.
Absolutely,
I'm
absolutely.
excited about this topic, Lizzie Dow. I really am. I really am excited about it because everybody's love language is so different. There's five types of love language, and we were talking about this the other day. How you might receive love or give love might be different from the way I express love, express it or give it or vice versa. So
Yeah.
it's really exciting. And I guess as long as you're loving and it's really love, who's to say which way of loving is right or wrong? It either suits you or it doesn't suit you.
And that's a good point. And that's the point of what we're doing here. You know, I've lined up some single folks, some married folks, some couples, and I just want everybody to get an understanding and a feeling of the just the different ways that people not only give love but receive love.
Mhm,
And that's what you
mhm,
were talking about, Kizzy Doll, about the five languages of love, which I love that series because
mhm, mhm,
it really gave you some insight, even not just romantic love, but
mhm,
actually like interactions with your family members or interactions with your children. You know,
mhm,
the five language of love helped me to interact with my children a little differently as they were growing up and just realizing. See, I grew up with my mom saying that she loved us all the same, and then I
Oh.
respectfully beg to differ because everybody is different. I always
Mhm,
say this
mhm,
about our
mhm,
fingerprints. We have
mhm.
unique fingerprints, and that's
Yeah.
our whole blueprint and makeup is different. So before we get started in defining what our language of love is,
Mhm,
I want to just dig a little bit into Mary J. Blige's song. I
mhm,
mean, Real
mhm,
Love, and that just suits us
mhm.
so well right now. Her song says, I'm searching for a real love, someone to set my heart free. Real love. It says, someone to set my heart free. Real love. We
Mhm,
are lovers true and through, and we made it through the storm. I really want you to realize, I really want to put you on. To I've been searching for someone to satisfy my every need. Won't you be my inspiration? Be the real love that I need. Wow! Isn't that something? I
Yeah,
know, right?
that song was playing in my head as you were talking. I'm like, ooh, that is so true. We're searching to tell you the truth. And if people really just be honest and stop trying to be super cool and super cute, we're all looking for real, honest love. We want acceptance and love. We want that safe place that we could lay down in, not just physically, but emotionally, mentally, emotionally. We can be safe with that person. We can unzip and they can hear all of this stuff, the junk in our head, in our spirit, or in our heart. But that love, they will love us no matter what they hear or what we do. We can still get that love from them. We're all looking for that.
That sounds unconditional, Kizzy.
It
Doll.
it is unconditional, baby. It is. And you know what? I'm gonna tell you something. Let me take it to the word because the scriptures say, 1 Corinthians 13:4 and 8 says that love is patient,
Mm.
love is kind, love
Mm-hmm.
does not envy, love does not boast, love is not proud, it's not rude, it's not self-seeking, not easily angered, it keeps no records of wrong. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. Now, you know what that sounds like to me?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody got some work to do.
Oh, that's a good point. That is such a good
Everybody
point.
got work to do, right? Because we can hold on to a thing because they hurt us, or say even if you forgive somebody, but they, you can forgive them, but we get so easily offended, and then we hold that in our hearts and in our spirit, which affects our spirit, which then it affects us physically because we're holding on to that. So then guess who's struggling with that right there? This in your fist. It's the cells in your body that's struggling with that. And let me tell you, the cells in your body will react to that. And
Absolutely.
then
Go
you
go
start producing bad cells.
go back to that. Go back to the scripture because I want everybody to be able to write that down. You said First Corinthians.
1 Corinthians 13, 4 through 8. Now, the version that I read was from NIV, but basically, like I said, it's the same. Love is patient, it's kind, it doesn't boast, it doesn't envy, it's not self-seeking, it doesn't hold on to wrongs, it lets go of those things.
Let's talk.
Love, go
Go.
ahead.
I'm sorry. Go back because you were doing what I was going to ask you to do anyhow. Go back to each one of those points and let's talk about that a little bit because sometimes you can read something and hear, but you don't know what it actually means. So I would
Mhm.
like to break that down a little bit. The very first thing you said, love is,
Love is patient.
what does that mean?
Woo! That
Yeah.
means when somebody done got on your last nerve that God created.
The one right here, the nerve right here.
You
Okay.
gotta be patient. You must be patient. Um, you have to be patient when people, check this out, are they not even patient with themselves. Patient.
Okay.
You gotta be
Okay.
patient. So, and one of the fruits of the spirit is long suffering. When you suffer long with somebody or in a situation, that doesn't mean, I think people misinterpret long suffering as, oh, I got to sit here in this abuse. No, that's not what that means.
Right now, we're not talking about that.
We're not talking about that.
Yeah.
We're talking about,
Real. Yeah.
right. I mean, it's basic. Just when you go through something, or say you may not like what somebody does or says, but you're not going to throw, as my mother used to say, the baby out with the bathwater.
I like
Right.
that. But see that's something that I think, and this is one of the reasons why, other than violence, we're not talking about violence, we're not talking about abuse.
No.
We're talking about real love, and we're talking about nurturing that love, and we're talking
Right.
about, okay, when you two have decided, okay, he's my him and she's my her. Now we're gonna deal with their brand of whatever they bring into the table. So
That's
let's
right.
let's work it out. And I think when you say don't throw the baby out with the bathwater, you mean, okay, I'm tired of this. Let's give like an example. I think we talked. Actually, you were talking about it the other day about the lady that got so fed up with her husband not pulling the toilet seat up or down. Something about the toilet seat, and she actually shot him. Okay, we're not talking about that level of mental issue, but that's part of what you were saying, that um being patient, right? Being
Right.
being being patient with somebody while they work through their stuff. Is that what we're
Through
saying?
their stuff. We're not talking about the outer limit, the outer limit things.
Right.
We're talking about working, being patient and loving somebody through little idiosyncrasies that they might have. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Like if somebody, for instance, if I lay a cup down right here, if I lay a cup down and say I'm involved or married to a complete and total neat freak. And if I lay that cup down and honey has told me dozens of times, baby, can you just use a coaster or just don't put the glass right there?
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's two types of patience that's going on. I have to be patient with the fact that this is a neat freak that wants me to put this coaster down or don't want me to put the glass right in that spot. But I keep doing it. So I have to be patient and not take that glass and do something with it. He has to be patient that it is only out of habit that I'm just doing. It's I'm not trying to aggravate him or tick him off. And guess what? Even with all those little bitty things that we have as people. So when we come together, we have to be more determined to love than we are to allow that thing to pull us apart.
That's a very, very good point, because I used to hear, older ladies say, shoot, at this point, I ain't worried about having no relationship because I'm
Mm-hmm.
so stuck in my way. I
Mm-hmm.
think they get that way because they realize that they are so stuck that they don't want to change.
They
They
don't
don't
want
want
to
to.
change.
They don't want to do that compromising with the partner and say, okay, I'm going to do my best not to put this cup down, because for me all these years it didn't bother me, but I understand, you don't want to. So that's a good point about patience. What was the next one you gave? You said it's kind.
Love is kind.
Kind. Okay. Let's talk about love being kind.
Let's.
Let's talk about let's
Girl,
love being
listen,
kind. Hmm?
listen. You have to be kind with people, and we're talking about in relationships, right? Even though this is across the board, this love from this scripture is across the board, in a relationship, out of a relationship, with the people that you see across the street or in the store. It's just across the board, but we're speaking very specifically about love in relationships, right?
Right.
Okay, so it's kind. It's kind when that person, again, here we go, on that last nerve.
Right here. That one right here.
That one right there. You
Yeah.
gotta be kind. Or just in your approach of that person that you say that you love. So listen, when you approach the person that you love, are you approaching them with a bat in your hand? Your tongue is the bat. Are you approaching them with a warm blanket of love? Now, it's all in your speech, your tone. We talked about that too, LizzyDoll.
Yeah.
Remember, in
Yeah.
the tone. So you can wrap them up or you can assault them. So, there was a song there's a song, Kirk Franklin has a song. It says something about, I will not hurt you with the words from my mouth. So
Mhm.
we have to be kind, even though sometimes people can test you and try you. You gotta be kind. You gotta be kind.
And you know something that I learned too.
Mm-hmm.
I have a soprano pitchy voice. So
Mm-hmm.
I've noticed that when I'm upset about something, my soprano just sharpens. And so I'm learning to, so that my point, because this is like, what is the purpose here? Is the purpose for me to scream and yell and just express my frustration, or is the point to actually get a resolution that's a win-win for both parties? What is
Right,
my
right.
what is the goal here?
What's
So
the end
I
goal?
had to, I
Right.
had to learn, I had to really, really learn to um bring my tone down, maybe breathe a little bit before I talk about the situation or the issue, and then really think it through before I speak on it. Because if I do it in the moment, I even had to say, okay, this is not a good time. Let's just come back to this. This is not a good time right now. Let's come back to this issue, or let's come back to this situation because I'm, So, and that's, I think, across the board, even in romantic relationships, or even, family members or whomever, or even people that you're working with or people that you're in business with, bringing that down, because the bottom line is that because we all are so different, we're not always going to agree. And there are more than one way to get to a certain point. So, you really have to um, come to, like you said, come with, what do they always say? You get more bees with honey than you do with vinegar. So you can't come with the vinegar and we're like this,
Right.
because at this point, especially, I'm talking to my ladies now, men don't hear you at a certain point. When you're like just go, they don't hear you anymore. So is your point just to show them that you're frustrated and aggravated, or is it to actually get some resolve to the situation? And I'm learning so much through our relationship series. I'm learning so much through the now through this love series. I can't wait to talk to some of the couples, because we have some couples that have been together for many, many years, and you really get to know, somebody's, you get to really know that person in that amount of years. So I can't wait to get our guests out here to talk about it. But we said patience and love is kind.
Yeah, and it does not envy.
That's a
It
good
does
one.
not envy, which means your partner, you shouldn't be jealous or envious of your partner or they of you. That can destroy your relationship. Listen, I have experienced that in the past. When that happens, that becomes very dangerous. It
Mm-hmm.
becomes dangerous because that person that's envious, there's something that they want that you have. And guess what? We're not talking about material things. People
Mm-hmm.
think that it is, it's not. What they want that you have is something in your spirit, something in your personality, something in your energy that they just do not have. That becomes dangerous because in their mind, then the enemy starts playing tricks with their head and tell them to destroy anything and everything about you.
That's
It's
so true. And that
dangerous.
I have experienced that in marriage. You know, um, and I think that comes into play when you're not evenly, and I know the scripture says evenly yoked, you're
Mm-hmm.
not evenly matched. And not
Yes.
that men and women are, the same, because we're not, or
Mm-hmm.
or equal, because we're not, but equal in our own giftings, or in our own, and I always was of the mindset that no matter what, and a pastor, when I was under a certain pastor, he used to do a relationship series, a marriage series, and he used to always say that, if she's good at the math and you're good at the cooking, then you guys will have the perfectly balanced books and the best meals going. But it
Mm-hmm.
doesn't matter who's wearing the, pants or not. It's not about that. It's about genuinely respecting and loving and taking care
Yes.
of, and exercising all of this. That envy part in marriages, it does ruin a marriage, because it just puts a really just a bad taste in your mouth for one another. And I think going back to the 5 languages of love, and we're going to bring that information out throughout this series. We'll start doing some research, because I don't know where my books are with that, but we're going to start. We'll talk a little bit about and walk through the 5 languages of love, because it really was an eye-opening experience for me when I started understanding what my love language was, and you know, I guess just we'll come back to this part of it. We're gonna talk about guilt gifts,
Oh,
because that was a part of my love language. That we can talk about it even here, because the guilt gifts, it's like when somebody does something to you and they bring you a gift, and they do something else and they bring you a gift. So now they know that all they have to do is they can do whatever they want to do, whether it sits well with you or not, whether they're respecting or disrespecting you or not, but they can go ahead and get that gift for you, and then it's all okay. So I'm just gonna go and do this. I'm just gonna go do whatever, and then I'm gonna come back, give you a gift, and it'll be all right. But what they don't understand is, on the other side of that gift now has lost its value, because it's not given in a spirit of, I'm giving this to you because I love you and I cherish you and I want you to know that. It's given now in the spirit of, okay, shut up about it. I don't want to hear, I don't want to
right,
argue about it. So here you
right,
go. I'm gonna do what I want to do.
right.
And that's not the loving, kind, caring, considerate relationship that we're talking about when we're talking about real love.
When you said, Lizzie Doll, about the guilt gift, it brought me back instantly to a situation I was in years ago. Um, I was in the midst of an abusive entanglement that the person kept coming back, even though I had ended the relationship after the first hit. This person kept coming back, kept coming back. Well, trying to see me. And each time would bring something. It meant nothing to me.
Absolutely.
It got to the point where I didn't want to see a gift. I couldn't appreciate the gift for what it was because behind that gift was some sort of insult or a threat to my very life. Um, Here, I want you to look into this mirror and look at yourself. This is the last time you're going to see yourself looking like that because I'm going to set you on fire.
Wow. Wow. That's yeah. That's not real love.
That's not real love.
That's not
That
real love.
guilt gift also was tied into this person having a deep spirit of envy. He did not know himself.
Yeah.
So to him, I presented as a woman that had herself together, and he felt rejected because after the first assault, I'm like, no, oh no, baby, you got the wrong one. That's not gonna work.
Right.
We can go ahead and be through with this. That's not gonna work. And it wasn't that I did not forgive him. I felt like at the time I made the decision that I was not going to invest any time to figure out if he was going to get it together in his head.
Absolutely. And I think hmm, those are boundaries that we're talking about. And some people,
Mm-hmm.
some people in relationships, they want to control and contain that person, and that's what we talked about before.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where the control and the containment comes in. At that's
Mm-hmm.
where the uh no boundaries. Some people don't have. Some people just don't respect other people's boundaries, and that's why I think it takes time. In relationships, you can start feeling the emotion of loving somebody, or feeling like you've fallen in love with somebody. But I believe that it takes time, because time flushes out who that person really is.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And if you don't take that time, like you said, with this person, and even with some of the abusive relationships I've encountered, if you don't take the time to get to know how they react and how they respond to different things in all seasons,
Mm-hmm.
you don't know who
Mm-hmm.
this person is. So how can
Right.
you really establish real love until you really ask the
Right.
hard questions? And then
Right.
what are their responses to the hard questions? And
Mm-hmm.
coming to them and talking to them in a loving manner. But these are
Mm-hmm.
things that we can't, as women, be afraid to, or even men. You
Mm-hmm.
can't be afraid to have open and honest communication. That's
That's
like the
right.
key. Communication. And then
Mm-hmm.
you'll see if somebody is envious or jealous. I think sometimes we see them reacting and responding to other people, and we feel for some reason that we're exempt from it, they won't do that to us. But we have to realize that how that person treats other people, it will come back to you as well. That's just how they operate.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We said so. Love is patient, love is kind, love does not envy. What else do we have?
Love does not boast.
Does not boast. Ooh, that one I need to understand about. What does that mean?
Basically, okay, I'll give you an example. I knew someone who was married to someone, I have to be very careful here, that was married to someone who a part of this partner's love language, well, I don't know if that even is love language. That partner boasted about everything that they did for that spouse
Hmm.
to everybody because that
Oh, okay.
person wanted credit for being this or that or buying this or getting that. Yeah, I bought this house and it was such and thousands, a few thousand $100 or whatever. I keep that person in a new car every year. I do this, I do that. Love doesn't have to do that. I don't need you to love me with a megaphone. I need you to love me with your heart and your spirit.
Mhm.
That's how I need you to love me, not with a megaphone.
And that's a love language. That's a love language because what you just said. Um, I saw an episode on Iyanla, on Iyanla Van Zant,
Mhm.
and it was about a pastor and his wife, and the pastor just actually just operated out of immorality. He would say, I mean, he had different girlfriends and everything or whatever. I was trying to be careful how I said that too. They had different girlfriends and everything or what have you, and he had gotten one of the parishioners pregnant, and the wife was just so embarrassed, just so embarrassed. And so when she came on to the Yana Van Zandt show, the Fix My Life show, she said, Yana said, so you're trading your dignity for a parking space in the first seat of the pew.
You know what? I think I seen a.
I was so,
Oh, I gotta go back and see that.
yes, I was like, man. She was like, because, I mean, she just brought it down, brought it home. Like, what are you willing? Because, again, what is see, that's why it's so important that we get to know ourselves and know who we are. Because, like, what is her love language? What's her love language to be on a bullhorn? Somebody been on a bullhorn, or somebody, acknowledging that she was first lady, or was her love language? What is it that you needed that caused you to sit there for so long and say, I just can't leave. I can't stop. Because her thing was, I think she said that it would make him look bad or something like that, but she had to really get that deep down in herself. When she said that about what are you exchanging yourself for? I was like, wow. So that's the book. Because some women, I don't know if any, and we have to think about that a little bit. I don't know anybody that would really I guess some people feel that if he's doing all this for me or whatever, they want everybody to know. I don't know.
Now, the person I'm talking about detested that
Okay.
boastful nature.
Then that was not a love language.
Detested it.
Yeah. That was
They were a leader.
yes.
This person went the opposite direction. Like I could be behind the scenes all day long. I don't have to be out here like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And when the mouth gets to going, the other person will go the opposite direction. Don't need that. Just do not need that. Hey, that boasting, it doesn't happen really when they're one on one.
Okay. It's just in front of people.
In front of people, when it's grandiose like that.
But you know what? We did a show on narcissistic men.
Yes, Lord.
And that's what that was. I need a little water, but that's exactly what happened. He talked about grandiose stuff. So that was, yeah. Excuse me 1 second.
Girl, I wish I had a little juice on that myself.
I know.
I'll go ahead. That was so juicy, I'll go ahead and just wipe my mouth.
A little dry. What's the next one? Love does not boast. What else?
Love is not proud.
Love is not proud.
Love is not proud.
Not proud.
Some people are so full of pride. They're not humble. And excuse me. They're putting down rules or whatever, or but I don't know what the perfect example is, except for I can use appearance as the perfect example of proud. One example of proud maybe, you don't want your spouse to gain 2 pounds.
Okay.
Why are you like that? Because you care so much about what other people think. You have to have actually candy on your arm and a trophy on your arm. Go out and buy a candy bar then.
Now what about this though? The pride being so proud, that having so much pride that you won't admit when you're wrong.
Oh, that's good, LizzyDoll.
Yeah,
That's it.
yeah.
That
Each one or
that
either party
that's
can keep that communication from coming together when, okay,
yes,
maybe we both made a mistake, or maybe we both got it wrong, or maybe we both failed to communicate. And
right.
this is one thing too, communicating how you feel from the beginning of a relationship, because as
Uh-huh.
relationships grow and people start growing, and either I've had some people to say that they grew apart. I've
Mhm.
had some people to say that, one person elevated and the other person wanted to stay the same, or they got into the relationship and,
Mhm.
maybe they had different shifts at work. And
Mhm.
then when one retired or another retired, there's a lot of divorces that occur when people retire, because you actually meet your spouse when you retire because they're no longer on all these shifts, or you know, or just communication.
Mhm.
Maybe you were young, like, you maybe got married out of high school, or maybe you got married out of college, or maybe you got married, right after college or something. I've had people that have done that. Actually, people that I know in my circle now that were married very young. And then when you grow old, when you get older and mature and you get exposed to different things, you realize I didn't really convey the person that I am, or as I grew,
Mhm.
this is who I grew into. This is what I want in my life. Like with me, it's always been an issue because I've always been an entrepreneur, and I didn't even know how to express that. So it was always an issue, especially with someone and it's not saying either way is right or wrong. It's just your preference, your love language. Like
Mhm.
mine is support. I really like for my spouse to be involved, and sometimes I have to balance that out, because I'm like, okay, maybe you don't want them involved because you guys see each other 24/7. You don't get a break from each other,
Mhm.
but maybe not even total hands on every day, but at least know what you're doing, so you can balance each other out by giving some opinions or some advice or some direction or some guidance, because at the bottom line, what you do is going to affect them. If you are, and it's another love language, are you all on the same page financially? Do you combine your finances? A lot of people say, I've seen it both ways, where people have said, every dollar that comes in the house is our dollars. We pay the bills and then we divide what's left, or we decide where we're going to save, what we're going to do. Some say, I have my account, he has his account. Some say, I'm okay with paying part of the bills, he pay part of the bills. Some people say, I want him to take care of everything because I want him to take care of me, and I'm going to take care of him, but he's going to say, I want him to take care of me financially. So it's like, it's so important to get these things talked about and get these things straightened out when you first, maybe not the first date, that's kind of deep, but as you're going along the relationship, you want to have these conversations, because when you don't want to get into the marriage like I did when I was younger, got into a marriage straight in college,
Mhm.
and we had not discussed anything. So we didn't really have a plan. It was just, that, ooh, I'm marrying a Prince lookalike. And so it just,
Wow.
yeah, so it's like, yeah, there's more to it than the surface.
Uh-huh.
So being too proud, I went way over to the left about the
No, no, no. I
communication.
agree with you. I agree with that's what I believe this mean. And I have in all honesty have seen people put certain demands on people because they just were haughty in their spirit, or they, whatever. But in this scripture, I believe what you said. I think that's what they're being too proud to admit that you're wrong, and then humbling yourself and apologizing and getting that thing right with your significant other.
Yes, I think your volume went a little bit down. I can only hear you a little bit.
Uh-oh, can you hear me now?
If you can come up just a little bit, because I love
Okay.
what you're saying. I want them, everybody, to be able to hear you. But
Oh my
yes,
goodness, I don't know why it went. Let me know when it's all right.
okay, I
I don't know
definitely
why.
will.
I don't know why it's gone down. Look, technology. This is not a brand new computer, you guys. But guess what? We're going to keep loving you. Y'all going to keep loving us as you guys continue to be patient and be kind. How about that?
Patient and kind.
Patient and
Patient and kind.
kind.
That's good. That's good.
Patient and
Okay,
kind.
and Not proud, and what was the other?
Not proud. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay. Love is not rude.
That's in there too, or you put that one in there?
Oh, okay. You got oh, 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 you got jokes. Oh, okay.
First
Oh,
time. I didn't hear it the first time. I didn't hear it the first time. I was like, oh, we added stuff. Okay. Okay. Well, we'll write it down. Not rude.
no, I, wait, I'm tickled. I'm not, I'm so tickled. Wait, I did not put that in there. I just said that I was reading from the NIV version, which translates certain words. Now, the thing said,
Okay. Okay.
the word says not rude. Okay, y'all, on the real, LizzyDoll trying to be funny.
No, she not. No, she not. On the real, on the real, you said that you said that love was not. I don't remember. I think I read this 1 Corinthians 13:4 and 8 quite a few times, and I've never heard the word rude in it, but I did get it mixed up that you said okay.
That's good.
Girl.
Can you hear me? Because I
Yes.
want y'all to hear me, America.
We supposed to be in this real love series, and we did Comedy Central.
Sister girlfriend over here ain't arrived. I tell people, yes, I am an angel. But guess what? One of them wings is broken. Don't play with me. I have not arrived. I'm working on some things. You and my auntie, listen, LizzyDoll. I was in the store earlier today. A lady dropped something out of her bag. And I just simply said, "Excuse me, ma'am, you dropped something." LizzyDoll go, "Ooh, ooh, you wasn't handing somebody's butt back to them." Ooh, I went, "No, she just dropped something. I just was letting her know."
In my defense, that's another good reason why we're doing this love series, so we can have some love droppings dropped on this, because we go through some stuff during the week. We all do, but we have to learn how to exercise some of what we're talking about. And truthfully, I'm not saying that the times that she handed it back to them it wasn't warranted, because it was. However, it just, you know how you have a natural reaction to something, and my natural reaction was what I said. I never heard you not have something. So I was just really surprised that it was excuse me, ma'am, you dropped something. I was like, she's kicked off the Real Love series really on the right foot. She's practicing what she preaches. And I was like, yay! That was that was a bit of a comic relief. Let's get back to this, LizzyDoll. What's the next one?
Let's get back to this because y'all, I'm really very nice. Really, I'm very, very nice. Very, very nice. Okay.
Not rude, right? What's the other one?
Wait a minute. Is this rude thing? You think this love we talking about have anything to do with driving? What's that word they call them drivers that get mad? What's that word they call them? When you got drivers that are just all over the road and they angry and they pull out the way. I wonder, does the love
tongue? It's on the tip of road rage.
Road rage, girl.
Yes,
you think it got anything to do with? Well, like we just said, this love, this scripture applies to everybody in every area of your life. Okay, including road rage.
Including road rage. That's not showing real love when you have when
real love.
Yeah.
Father, I do repent to you for everything. I be repenting all the time, Lord, all the time about everything. all the time. Okay.
Real love. Okay. So
Okay, the next one
yeah.
is love is not self-seeking.
Okay.
Now, because it's this translation,
Yes.
I really would be interested in knowing what the King James says. Love is not self-seeking. I guess. Oh, a narcissistic, selfish, selfish.
Yes. So
Oh, okay,
yeah.
that's what that means.
And
Okay.
I think, see, it's okay to take care of yourself and to have self-care, but if you're talking about selfish, that means because love is not love is not selfish, meaning that I, I heard this a long time ago and saw it in a movie too. I don't remember which movie it was, but where they would say, ask for the last piece of pizza or the last wing thing or the last
I've
pizza.
seen that in a movie too.
Yes, and see if he'll give it to you, or see, and just and see what happens with that. But I mean, those are some, like, I guess some little indicators or what have you. But I think it is. I think you would you know take care. It's just about taking care of the other person for me.
Yeah,
Taking
yeah.
care of the other person, and I think this is an example. Before I got into the naturopathic world, and I used to cook up big meals for everybody. I mean, like, I was the one. Okay, yeah, I always liked my diva stuff, but I was the one that had on a skirt, probably some kind of a mini or something, a skirt, and I'd have on some knee pads and some gym shoes or some sneakers, because I would be grilling outside. I had to have my makeup and all that stuff on, but I would be grilling outside in the backyard. This is when I was married, grilling outside in the backyard. I had my sides cooking in the front in the kitchen, and I would be running to the front to take care of all of our guests. And I would be doing a, what do you call it? Is it a red robin when you circle around? I would circle around, and I would make sure. I'm telling you, I would have potato salad with mustard in it for those that like mustard. Potato salad without mustard for those that did not have mustard. I'd marinate my ribs all at night. This is what we're talking about, real love. Like, I knew some people, like pork ribs. Some people like beef ribs, so I would have to have both. Some people like mustard potato salad. Some people didn't. I mean, and so I would, like, accommodate everybody until all of a sudden one day I was done. I was tired. I was burned out because everybody was fat and full. Everybody was taken care of. And here I am, tired, hurting, legs hurting, and actually had not even eaten a plate because I was serving people plates. So I'm serving it, okay? And I'm like, what are you doing? Get a grip, girl. But you know what I realize now? That's my love, a part of my love language. So when somebody does kind things for me, that's how I receive love. That's how my love tank gets filled. Some people it doesn't, like, people. Some people can't even appreciate that because that's not their love language, and they don't really. It's like, no, I don't care, So what? She made me a plate. Go on. But that was my love language, and so now I understand why I was just like doing that, because that's how I receive love. Go ahead, KizziDoll. What were you about to
You know
say?
what? I was just thinking while you were talking, well, what is my love language? Well, here's the thing is that at this point in this stage in my life, on until I get to heaven's gate, my love language, I want to love on a level that I'm requiring, I'm needing now.
Hmm.
So I'm like, you know how you see people playing cards? What, I don't know nothing about cards. I just see them playing cards or whatever, and I could hear this term. I'm all in. I'm all in.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm all in.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
I need that from you. I want your time, your consideration. I want all that. I want you to not only show me with a gift. Here you go, honey. Thank you. All right, that's beautiful. But I want you to show me with your mind, show me with your heart and your spirit that you see me, appreciate me, and love me. Because guess what? I am going to give that back to you. Women are receivers anyway.
Yeah.
Our spirits are sponges. and you squeeze us, and what are you going to get back? What you gave us.
Oh, that's so good. That is so good. I was looking back over the words of the song, and she says, um, I want you to realize, even though we've made it through the storm, I want you to realize that I've been searching for one to satisfy my every need. Won't you be my inspiration? Won't you be my inspiration? Be the real love that I need. That is 5 love languages all day long. The love that I need. And see, for me, and I say this often, I think I got dropped in the wrong time, because for me, I love dressing elegant and having my man, my husband, my significant other, my husband, to I love a man in a suit. You know what I'm saying? That's always been a thing for me. I mean, yeah, we can do some casual whatever, but the
Yeah.
suit thing is just that just you have to really understand and know yourself, learn yourself.
Yes.
You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? A suit.
Yes.
Um, and for him to be the man and for me to be the lady, you know what I'm
Girl.
saying? And for just really understanding which, because if you don't know your love language, you'll settle for less than what you and then you'll get resentful, and then you'll be expecting him to be that which you want, but he wasn't when he
Girl.
presented to you. So you can't go around trying to change somebody. I mean, there's some things that you can compromise on, but the core of who a person is. So doing things for me, that's like a big thing for me. And me allowing me to do things for you, that's a big thing for me. The giving and receiving, um just just the listening to what's important to me and being a part of that, and me listening to what you're doing and being a part of that. I can't wait to get the 5 love language, because KizziDoll, if you will come back with me on, go as we're journaling through the Real Love series, and in between the interviews, if we can start talking about the 5 love languages. So we got to do some homework and pull them back up, because it's been many moons. I got to dust that off. But if we can get in between there and talk about the 5 love languages, in between some of the dialogue that we're gonna have, it's gonna be a blast. I promise you.
That would be good.
That's why I wanted to kick it off with you, my dear. And just for us to really get it, and it helps me to even think about it, like what's important to me.
Yes.
Time is important to me. Being able to spend time with me, making me feel important or special to you. I love gifts, but I'm not materialistic. So that's not like can't buy me. I don't, that's not, some people can be bought. That's not me. I can't be. No.
Cannot be bought.
But I love
consideration, right?
Absolutely consideration and respect,
Yes.
and just appreciate me, appreciate the things that I do, appreciate that. So one of the things that I was looking at when I was doing some research on the Real Love series, or kicking it off, I'm not sure where I got this from. I love to give credit where I get it from, but I'm always looking at things, searching, and so it's all a compilation in my brain. But one of the things that I was looking at on YouTube, one of the guys said, move out the good to make room for the best. And sometimes we try to hold on to something that we think is good, but there's a lot of things that aren't right with that. And if you hold on to that, then you will never have room for the best. The other thing is, there were some things that I want you to think about as we're going through this series of I think for me, a person, I think a good fit for me, and I'm gonna be transparent. A good fit for me is somebody that challenges me, and I don't mean in a bad way, but I mean challenge me to be better, because that's something that's important, that we help each other to get better, help each other to be a help me to each other, to help us to get to our purpose. One of the other ones was, okay, when they're challenging you, are they challenging you in a positive way to help you grow and to help you become better? For me, TD Jake's song from Usher Me. Usher me, and so that's so important, that he can guide me, that he can lead me, that he can usher me, and that we can pray together, and we can really, like, I'm having a day and he can pray me through it, and he's having a day. We know that each other is each other's safe place.
Sacred
Um,
love songs. That from that
Sacred love
CD.
songs. That's
Sacred
it.
love songs. Yes.
And sacrifice. You said that in the other thing. You talked about sacrifice. You know what I'm saying? Not being
Yes.
selfish, but
Yes.
sacrificing. Will you give me that last piece of key lime pie?
Right.
The last
Right.
bite.
You know what? When you was talking about the last piece of something, it made me think about. All right, y'all, don't trip on me, but it made me think about like I have a love language even with dreams.
Yeah.
And when I am feeding her food, not very often, but when I am feeding her food, do you know I have given her the last on my plate?
Yeah. See,
And not because I was full.
it's the love
But
language.
even the word says that the dog waits for the crumb under the master's table.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And sometimes when I am eating and I'm sharing with her, she's one of God's creatures too. She
Mm-hmm.
gives me so much unconditional love
Mm-hmm.
every single day. You mean to tell me I can't share the last bite of my food with her?
Yeah. That's the
Love
yeah.
language,
That's unconditional. That's loving unconditional. Um,
unconditional.
the other one of the other things was secures it covers me. So covers me. So it's a secure place, emotional, financially, and spiritually. So he
Mm,
provides that haven.
yes,
That's a part of my love language.
yes,
Um, and complimenting one another. You know,
yes,
I think
yes.
that's just a beautiful thing to have a beautiful fit with each other. You know, be
Right,
of that
right.
even yokes that you all can talk about. I mean, I love to laugh and have fun, so good to be able to crack jokes and laugh and have fun and be silly, but also can come together and say, hey, you know, this is what's happening with our stock. This is what's happening with our, you know, our investments. This is what's happening, you know, whatever. So it's like that whole thing, and if something is off balance from that, it's that's not a good fit for me. Not saying that that's not a good fit for somebody else, because well, I have a girlfriend that she won't even date a man in a suit. She said he has to have Timbos and jeans on. She can't she
Really?
like now I like alpha men in a suit. Now he can wear some Timbos, but my preferred you know wardrobe for him is just a man in a suit. It just does something for me.
I love a well-dressed man, honey. You give
Absolutely.
me a well-dressed man any day. And I realize there's different outfits for different occasions, but a well-dressed man,
Yeah.
whoo, have mercy. That's
Kizzy doll, Kizzy doll. Have you discovered in our talk today what your true love language is? Or you still need to go through some of the lessons, and it's okay either way, because you know what I tell people, I say it's not a right or a wrong in your decisions. It's chocolate or vanilla. Which one do you prefer? You're just going to get a different experience. So if you give your answer right now, it may change as we go through this whole series, because I'm telling you that five languages
yeah.
of love is no joke. It's the real deal.
Well, I'm excited about this lesson because I really don't. I don't know. There's so many different ways that I show love and that I want to receive love. But I right now it's expression. Express your heart to me. Don't make me guess. And then I'm not chasing you. So don't make me do all any of that. Express yourself because here is the safe place.
Yeah.
I'm the safe place. I
Yeah.
want to be safe with you and I want you to know that you're safe with me. So
Yeah.
it's expression, but right now it is keeping your word. Be
Yeah.
about your word. If you speak a word, keep your word.
Yes.
Whatever you say, mean it. Say it, do it, and mean it.
That's
Other than that, yeah, that guessing, that's like playing chess, trying to figure out what the move is gonna be. I don't want to do that. I
and
don't want to
that's
do.
but that's something else, as I've been reviewing some of the information out there, that and this one that I'm looking at right now, I'm just watching through it. One of the series was one of the gentlemen was doing it was did a survey on how long it takes for a man to know that you're the one. How long does it take? And and in the survey that they did, I think they surveyed about 350 people, and not many. It wasn't many that said, the ones that said it took like years or beyond a year. It was that they were playing games, that they wanted the person around or the woman around either to sleep with her or to have get finances from her or just emotional support or somebody to hang out with. But when he wasn't clear about his intent, and if he wasn't clear right off the rip, I mean, I wish I had printed it down, but some of the guys said, one guy said, I knew when I saw her picture. And they got married. They got married like right off the rip. Like it was like 2 weeks they got married, and they've been married for like 18 years or something. Then the other guy said, they met 6 weeks, and 2 months later they was planning their wedding. And they've been together 20 some odd years. And most of what he was saying in his review, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and I'm going to get some of those answers to a lot of people commented, and they were just saying that it was like right off the rip. It's usually saying it doesn't take that long to know, but it depends on where. This is how women can know. Find out. You will find out where he is, because it doesn't make him a bad person. It just makes him, he's not ready, but he doesn't want to convey it to you because people are afraid of loss. And he knows that if he says, I'm going to string you along for 8 to 10 to 12 years of your youth, you're not going to stay. Especially if your intent is to get married and your intent is to be in a solid relationship one-on-one and you're building something. And it's okay that people are at different stages in their life, but what bothers me is the ones that come and try to make you think that this is where they are and they're really not there. And they know that they're not there, but they see something they want, just like a piece of candy or something, and they don't consider your feelings, they don't consider what you want for your life. So you have to be the gatekeeper and the guard keeper of that. But it was just really interesting to me that the majority of the people that were on that they did that survey is like 350 men that they did the survey on, and they said the results don't lie. That a man knows right off the rip. He knows, he was saying within the first couple of months or whatever, and then you take the rest of that year, to plan your wedding or what have you. But when all of those things come together, I think then the only thing then is to work through the challenges and things. So that was a really good, survey that he did, because sometimes you feel kind of foghead. You're like, well, wait a minute. People say, no, you got to wait this long or this long. But what he said in a nutshell, basically, it doesn't take that long to know, especially if you're ready. And if you're in a good place, it doesn't take years and years and years to know if this is the person for you. It's just that you guys may not be ready, or you may get ready at different times, But it's always good to thyself be true and to know yourself.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know what? I heard Steve Harvey say, I was watching his show one day, and he said he was talking to this couple, and this lady, she had been with this man for years. And he just kept putting off marriage, putting it off, putting it off, putting it off. And she asked Steve, well, what can I do to get him to marry me? Steve said, as he talked to the man, asked him a couple of questions. He said, brother, basically, you need to come on in from the field and come on into the barn. You're too old to be out there playing like that.
Right. Right.
And I know for me, at this point in this age, I can have a conversation with someone. It does not take all day long. And I don't believe in long courtship. I believe in courting to get to know that person if they are the proper fit for you. And then in that courtship, you're getting God's will for both of your lives. But that stringing me along 2-3 years, oh yeah, that's my old lady. Yeah, I've been with her 5 years. We're gonna get married one day. The devil is a lie. That's not, that's not happening. That's not happening.
Point blank period, right? So in wrapping up this session and this kickoff of our Real Love series, I hope you join us and grab some girlfriends or some friends
Yes,
and come along, grab you some popcorn
yes.
because I'm sure it's going to be a blast with the lineup that we have. And make sure that you give us your comments and if you have questions for any of our panelists, let us know. We're not gonna just choose from. We're gonna choose all the whole gamut. Anybody that we can just drag onto the show. But
That's
actually
right.
have some good and solid information and have had some longevity in their relationship, or we're going to bring that to you. So we want to have fun with this series, and let's get some answers about what is real love. That's our series. So we're kicking it off today. My Kizzy doll, did you have any parting remarks tonight?
Yes, I do. Listen, guys and ladies, come with an open heart and an open mind and be ready to receive information so that you can grow, so that by the time you're with that significant other, then you'll understand some of the terminology and what it means about love language. You will begin to then discover some of your love languages, okay? So come on back. I'm telling you, this one is really going to be good. We have more things for you, so we don't mind sharing our information, our knowledge, our time, and our love with you. You guys don't forget, as always, to like, share, and subscribe. Hit that bell, sweetheart, so you do not miss any episodes. And in parting, as always, be careful, stay prayerful, bless you all's hearts and all of your parts. All right, Lizzie
Much
Dow.
love, much love, and bye for
Much
now.
love. Bye bye.